Now, speaking about feedback tonight, we want to give some feedback to some of our donors. And so I want to invite up here this evening Nancy Newbrander, Kevin and Tracy Townsend, and Tom Levinson. If the four of you could come on up, we're going to have you sit right here at this table. So, Nancy Newlander, Kevin and Tracy Townsend, and Tom Levinson. Can you give them a warm welcome? Just on this side, please. Yes, if you could come up and just sit on this side. Look at that. Looks like they're getting ready for a game show. Whose line is it? All right, here we go. Now we have... using this. Okay. Now we have, coming up, some pastors and spouses who are going to share with our donors tonight some feedback on how Barnabas Ministries, through John 17:23 support groups, have ministered to them. And so you know who you are, so if you pastors could just come over here and line up right by this rail, we would appreciate it. Just line up here, just get in the line for me. We're going to keep the flow going. The first person who's going to speak this evening is Sean Bowen. I'm going to get you a mic, Sean. Here you go, my brother. Give him a warm welcome.
Well, I'm Sean Bowen, an associate staff member here at Barnabas, and there's something I'd like to show you on this screen up here.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm a bivocational pastor of a small urban church with about 40 members, and we meet in a rented space. I try to balance work, my family, wife and 2 kids, and church. I was overwhelmed, and then I heard about Barnabas Ministries and their John 17:23 pastoral support groups. Maybe you're overwhelmed like I was, or maybe you just want to see how other pastors do things to make your ministry even better. Today, I would like to tell you about John 17:23 groups and how joining one can help you with your situation. We will be covering 4 major points. 1, what are the essential elements of a John 17:23 group? 2, why groups succeed? 3, why you should join a group? And 4, how you can join a group. At any time during this presentation, if you are ready to join a group, feel free to click the green Join a Group button below.
You know, that's the first minute of a series of 5 modules in the e-learning program, which we've been working very hard to put together over the last year. And we've had a team of instructional designers and courseware developers talking with pastors to pull this together. And this is going to make such a huge difference in terms of how quickly we can pull together a group and the quality of the group. And I just wanted to say thank you as donors to Barnabas Ministries for making this possible. You're really making a huge difference in the lives of pastors by your contributions. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Our next speakers will be Vinny and Heather Capetta, husband and wife from Framingham at Crossroads Community Church. Thank you.
I guess I'll go first. My name is Heather Capetta, and I'm a member of Crossroads Community Church in Framingham, Massachusetts, where my husband, Vinny, is the associate pastor. It means so much to me to have Barnabas Ministries available for our family. Number one, because we feel the prayers that come each week over our family. It's such a blessing. Number two, because of the encouragement and support that they have given to my husband, who has had to shoulder our church through a 14-month transition without a senior pastor. If it wasn't for the prayer and support from his group of pastor friends in Barnabas Ministries, I feel that he would have been overwhelmed and felt alone. I sometimes tease Vinny about the fact that he doesn't have any guy friends, and his reply is always, "My John 17 guys are my friends." Thanks for making it possible for godly pastors to encourage each other, and especially to encourage my husband in ministry. You are truly making an eternal difference.
My name is Vinny, and I am the associate pastor at Crossroads Community Church in Framingham. And I also have a counseling ministry that's out of here in Hopkinton that I do on my day off. I came here in 1999 to plant a church. And when I came here, Barnabas Ministries was one of the first groups I connected with. And I was coming off a failed ministry project, and I also lost a large number of my ministry friends and spiritual family in the process of coming here and what was going on in my life and other people's lives at that point. So I was really in a hurting place. And when I showed up here and met 30 pastors on that first day, it was a huge help to me. It's like I had a new spiritual family, and I had other men I could look up to. Through the years, it's been about 15 years that I've been a part of one of the small groups. I've been through a lot of transitions, and I just wrote a few of them down here. The church plant that I helped plant in 1999 had to come to an end after 6 years, and we ended up merging with another church, and my John 17:23 group was there with me and walked that transition with me. The emerging of my ministry as a counselor also happened, and the pastors in my group walked through that transition with me and helped me understand my calling and what God was leading in that. And then our church has been through the transitioning of 2 different senior pastors during the time I've been there, and my small group has walked through those times with me as well. These transitions have been intense, they have been trying, and they've been difficult. And I can't imagine having to go through those kinds of things without the kind of support that I received in my group, so thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker will be Scott Foster. Scott Foster.
My name is Scott Foster, and I pastor at First Baptist Church in Holliston. And I just want to say thank you for your support for this ministry. I think that this ministry and your support of it has enabled me to stay in the pastorate. 3 ways that I can think of off the top of my head. One, when I first started about 10 years ago at our church, Barnabas Ministry, and especially Dick, came along beside our church, very intentionally helped us dealing with some very difficult spiritual healing that went back generations, and really set our church on a direction, a healthy direction that continues to this day. Second way was in the very beginning of my ministry there 10 years ago, one of the pastoral retreats that Dick led. Out of that time, God really gave me a part of the vision that continues to shape our church on a daily basis. It was at that retreat where God did that. And then third for me is my John 17 small group. These brothers and sisters, they bear my burdens. They are the ones that I rejoice with. They are the ones that I go to and I cry with. And I thank you so much. God bless you, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott. Phil Engelman. Phil Engelman will be our next speaker.
I am one of a few regional directors for Barnabas Ministries, and I happen to be in North Georgia. And I am just so thankful that God has brought me in touch with Barnabas Ministries, because I had a view to connect pastors in small groups after having been a pastor for many years myself. And I really just wanted to help them stay refreshed and encouraged in the work. But my relationship with Barnabas has really crystallized the purpose. The part that I didn't get was the importance of John 17:23, that it wasn't just simply to keep pastors encouraged in the fight, but also to get them connected with one another, that we might fulfill the prayer of Jesus in John 17:23. That's what made it so unique to me. And as I've been rubbing shoulders with Dick and the other regional directors for the last 4 years, God has really broadened my vision for that. And in addition, one time he took us a couple times actually, to the prayer outpost, the pastor's prayer outpost here. And I had such a meaningful and powerful experience a couple of years ago doing that we've been doing our own pastor's prayer outpost in North Georgia, and maybe 175 additional pastors are being prayed for by name every week as a result of that. And I could go on, but I just want to say thank you so much. You're representing many others as well who are supporting this ministry, and you mean the world to us for what you're doing. God bless you.
Praise God. Our next speaker is Esau Vance.
Thank you. I'm going to take some advice from Dick Germain and not try to remember it. I'm going to read. My name is Elder Esau Vance. I'm the senior pastor of Mount Olive Pentecostal Church in Worcester. Also, I am the president of the Worcester Black Clergy Alliance. I'm a father, 4 daughters, 5 grandchildren, and happy grandfather at that. So the August 15, 2015, John 17:23 Pastoral Development Seminar gave me an opportunity to open up my heart and to share my story, my own story and experiences with other like-minded pastors who had some of the same similar stories. And their testimony confirmed my own beliefs about the life of God's under-shepherd and what they face in the ministry every day. I also discovered that many pastors attending the seminar had some of the same issues in common. The John 17:23 seminar was an eye-opener for me as a new pastor trying to find my way in the pastoral ministry. And it was quite relieving to learn that I was not alone in facing such issues as decreased tithing, membership, and increased spiritual apathy, time management, membership counseling, visiting the sick and the shut-in, as well as trying to balance family life and home with all those activities. The seminar also gave me an opportunity to foster and to build spiritual connections with other pastors from all backgrounds and denominations. I have also been able to create a pastoral network, which can help me to become the shepherd, the husband, and the father that God is calling me to be, not only now, but also in the future. And so I just want to say sincerely thanks to all of the Barnabas Ministry supporters for your financial contribution to this ministry. It has served as to provide a support base as well as a framework for pastoral spiritual development, as well as an opportunity for all pastors who would like to submit prayer requests weekly to this prayer group here in Hopkinton. And we get our prayer requests prayed for, and it's a great and wonderful feeling knowing that when I'm off running errands and doing something, somebody is praying for me. So again, thank you for your support.
Thank you, Elder Vance. Thank you so much. We're going to have Phil McCutcheon come and share his heart with you, our donors. Forgive me for giving you my back. I gave you my back. Here you go, my brother. Yes.
Hi. Well, as Rob, my good friend Rob said, I'm Phil McCutcheon, and I'm a crowd addict. I love crowds. I love a crowded auditorium, a crowded sanctuary on Sunday morning, a crowded mind full of thoughts and ideas and visions and plans, a crowded schedule full of appointments. Makes me feel normal, but it's not good for my soul. My soul needs more time with less people. John 17:23 is that for me. For the last 8 years or so, I've met with 3 to 5 men, and they've saved my life. I'm not sure I would still be in the ministry, or at least not in the place I am. This came this came home to me very forcefully a month ago on a Wednesday afternoon. I had an appointment with my urologist to go over a biopsy report that I'd received. And I sat in my car at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, that Wednesday afternoon, with these words ringing in my ears: "You have cancer. You have prostate cancer, and it's pretty aggressive level." Sitting there in my car, after I said, "Oh, crap," I called 4 people. I contacted 4 people. The first was my wife to tell her the news, and I called the 3 guys in my John 17:23 group. And I can't tell you what it means to me. That was just one of about 20 conversations over the last 3 weeks that I've had with them. And I just can't tell you what it means to me to have them on that journey with me. I'm sorry about the journey. I'm sorry that I have to go on it. I'm sorry they have to go on it. But they've laughed with me about it. They've given me advice. And thank you so much, donors, for making it possible we can have this kind of support. I could sit here and tell you a lot of stories about things they've talked me through, but I'll just leave you with that one. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Phil. And now Andy Corbett is going to come and share. Andy?
My name's Andy Corbett. I'm the pastor of Old Paths Fellowship in Webster, Massachusetts. We're about a 2-year-old church plant that started in my living room, and God's really blessed it. But at the same time, I'm also a bivocational pastor, and I work a full-time job in Waltham. And about 2 years into this ministry now, I quickly was realizing that this was a unique situation I was in. A lot of the John 17:23 groups meet during the day when I'm far away in Waltham. So Dick and I got to talking, and we started an online version of it, and we've been doing that for just a short time now. But what a relief to be able to look at the faces of other guys that are going through what I thought I probably may have been the only one going through, trying to have other people understand what it's like to try to give 100% to your job, to your ministry, to your family, and 100% to each one of those. But what a relief it was to sit down and to see 3 other faces that all said, "I know exactly what you're going through, I'm doing the same thing." It was like I took a deep breath, and it was like I had a cool drink of water, and I was able to pick up again where I was starting to get maybe a little bit discouraged, not having people around that could quite grasp what it was that I was trying to do, what it was I was called to do. So I wanted to thank you guys for hearing the call of God in your life to step up and to give and to donate and to support this ministry, because you're the reason that I can get up in the morning and go on my quiet time knowing that there are 4 other guys that are praying for me to get me through that day, and I'm praying for them as well. So thank you for your obedience to the call of God that's been on your lives. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andy.